Nautzium, hello, howdy, and welcome, Nishalacha, to the Wisdom Keepers video series. In this series, we gather elders, culture bearers, and youth, visiting our culturally significant places, sharing who we are by learning about where we come from and where we remain since time immemorial. Students, together with their teachers and guidance from tribal leaders, developed interview questions and prepared to listen, learn, and grow from sharing time and place with the ones who carry our Shalangan. By creating this series, we hope to inspire other youth to seek elders and culture bearers for connection and wisdom outdoors. All youth can look to these videos as a model for how to ask questions, listen to their elders, and understand where they come from. Lummi Nation High School students from the Blackhawk Productions Arts and Media program volunteered to interview elders and culture bearers at locations chosen by elders and culture bearers. Each community elder holds sacred important locations and stories relative to these places. While chosen for their importance, the places shared in this series are by no means our only sacred locations. Many places are sacred to our communities and within our families. This is your host, Cyrus James, member of the Tulalip Tribes, and longtime co-producer with Children of the Setting Sun Productions.
We used to we'd run all over the island, but some places we were not allowed to go was the swamp. I never did go to the swamp, never. I never seen the swamp. Oh yeah, they talked about it, but they called it Slapoo. Slapoo, not Sasquatch. That was a lady. But the story was she had a baby with a human man. That's I don't know if it's true or a rumor or just a say, but he captured the lady and she had a baby. One time my cousin and I came across on a rowboat from on that side to this side. We start drifting out that way towards the pass, and she said, pull, 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 Ernestine, pull, hurry, hurry, we're drifting, we're drifting. We were only like 7 and 8 years old, and I said, I am. And we were both kind of crying, and we thought we were gonna drift across the pass and drift down the pass with the current, but we made it. We made it in a little rowboat, little tiny rowboat.
Yeah, I got a question. How did it start when people started camping here? How did that tradition start?
The people would come over here in the springtime like now, and they'd go fishing for herring, dig for clams. Everybody had a little shack here and there on the hill, over there, everywhere in the woods. And you can't find any shacks anymore, little houses. No electricity. When we got electricity in Marietta, I thought, what? I can turn on light with a switch?
I used to spend Easters on Portage Island with my family, and it was like when I was really young, and all my aunties were alive, and I don't really remember most parts of it, but I do remember it being one of the most happiest memories I've had as a child.
The res. Our skins are red and my bracelet is blue. The res is home, but it's practically a zoo filled with fireworks and fry bread and cousins galore. What more could you ever ask for? The res sings her symphony of barks and laughs. The frogs join in, guiding you through the dark and unlit paths. The res is all I've ever known. The res is great. The res is awesome. It's bitchin'. It's home.
So here's a word for you guys to remember. Swatan. Swatan. In the year 400, Swatan came to Lummi and created the community, yeah? The year 400. His brother stayed at Samana on Vancouver Island. And we all should know this, yeah? That's who we are and that's where we come from. That island right out there is one of the first homes that was created in the north portion of the San Juan Islands, Swatan. The year 400, he built that home for us, yeah? And he created this whole story of where we're at today.
What were the houses like here?
My grandma's house was a double-story house. She had a barn. She had animals. She had cows. She had chickens. It was a big, big house. She lived right over here. And my uncle, he has 2 children. They lived over there. Their house was big. We lived right down here. It was a 1-story house.
Noise bounces across water pretty well, so maybe.
That's good. Give him a hand, everybody.
I got a question for everybody. Does anybody know the history of this place? At all?
What was the question?
Does anybody know the history of this place? No? Well, Lummi had a chief back in treaty times in 1855. Hi, Siam. He was well known. His name was Chowitsu. He was one of the signatories that signed the treaty of 1855 that gets us to this place. But he also lived right up there. He had a place up there. Chief Chowitsu. He's an ancestor of the Lummi people. But he also knew of this place. He brought the settlers to this little creek right here. And I have to believe, this is my own perception, he was pronouncing this waterway to the settlers. They were looking for a waterfall right up there. And so he paddled in with them, and his pronunciation would be Quaquam, not Whatcom. So we live in Whatcom County now. That's a Lummi word. Quaquam is the little creek we're at, Quaquam Creek. So that we're descendants of this place based on our ancestral knowledge. The man that helped sign the treaties for the Lummi people, Chowitsu, this place was really important to him.
How many friends? All my cousins. There was a big bunch of us, cousins, all related.
Yeah, that's a problem I have. I'm related to everybody.
And each one of us knew what the other guy was doing.
You guys play like tag?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. You guys play hide and seek?
Yeah, hide and seek.
Nice.
Did you guys climb trees?
I climbed lots of trees. I bet you guys can't climb a tree up to the top like that one that's bent over there. See?
I've got a fear of heights too.
We used to climb all the way up to the top and get stuck.
But then when you look down at something, you're high up, it's more different.
That tree's a good tree to climb right there,
Yeah, I like climbing trees. Let's go do it right.
but it was fun. We had our own canoes. We made a jump on a log and start paddling.
Are there any little ponds or lakes on the island?
Yeah. There's the swamp. There's a lake somewhere. I can't remember where the lake is. You'd have to make a tour of the island to see it. Once a year at Portage, my dad took us across Portage on a rowboat for Christmas. And we'd come across from the island to the mainland just to get a sack of candy, Christmas time. And you know, it was rough, but it was fun.
So, you know, the flood song, it really speaks about history of what took place. And we have to remember Laktamish isn't the only people that have the story of the flood, the Great Flood. Our relatives on Vancouver Island, Cowshan, they have the very exact same story, but they tied up somewhere else. Where did we tie up during the flood? As Laktamish people. Is it high enough to tie up on? So that's homework for you, okay? Next time I see you, you can tell me where Laktamish tied their canoes up.
This was all forest. It wasn't an industrial park that we see today. It was all forest. It was all wilderness, and it was wild and full of animals, wild animals. But the settlers were interested in putting a sawmill right here, and it had a kind of like a wagon wheel that powered the saw blade, water by water. So those pilings over there are the remnants of the first sawmill here in Bellingham. And out of that sawmill, this is how we get to Bellingham today, is it all started right here. The early history of Bellingham starts right here. So we're descendants of the Point Elliott Treaty, and we're still here, but we never did relinquish our inherent rights to this place.
Life and think about what this would all look like to my youngest nieces and nephews when we're old, and we teach them what our older siblings taught us. But then again, I mostly just look at it. It reminds me of the beauty that was once here.
Can you imagine what they did on a day like this?
No.
We kind of talked about it earlier, yeah. Gathering.
Everywhere we went, we had to walk. We didn't have no car. We walked. My grandma had a truck. She was the boss of this island. She was the boss lady.
Because our elders are our knowledge keepers, they truly are the most valuable experts that we have. To preserve and protect our stories and knowledge for future generations, Interviews were recorded and edited by Children of the Setting Sun Productions, a Lummi-led nonprofit storytelling group. Wisdom Keepers is a collaborative production led by Lummi Natural Resources and produced between esteemed Lummi elders and culture bearers, Lummi Nation High School Blackhawk production students, and Children of the Setting Sun Productions, a Lummi-led nonprofit storytelling group. Thank you, and Haishka, for learning and growing together with us, or as we say, Jacental.